Comedy for the Curious. I am your host. I am Robin. I used to be a scientist, right? That's what I used to do. Very exciting. I was a marine biologist. And then I realized, why would you make disposable income when you could follow your dreams? Oh, honestly, so many degrees, so little income. Thank you for coming. And science people, give me a cheer. Okay, some of you guys, I mean, it is like it's a spectrum. Some people are like, science, love it, right? The other end of that spectrum is, of course, unvaccinated.
I still think in science, I will say that. This is the way that my brain works. For example, how many of you guys know the reality TV show, Are You the One? Anybody? Wow, nobody. Oh, you do. I was like, oh, there's always one person that also doesn't have standards. Thank you for being that. Yeah, if you don't know it, don't worry. It's like a classic reality TV show. You got 10 guys, 10 girls, scientifically matched to each other. Not science. And they basically, they have to figure out who they're matched to win the prize money. And every episode, they get 2 clues to figure it out. Right? Now, I am the kind of person that I watch that shit with an Excel sheet. I mean, they have 10 episodes to figure it out. I did it in 7.
I'm not very good at life. I kind of suck at life, but I love science, and I love using science to help me get better at life. We've done about 25 different topics. We've done love. I suck at love, right? Love and hate. We've done confidence as well. That was last night. I was fighting with my wife about whether or not to get a cat or a dog, so that show is tomorrow. Spoiler alert, I lost, but I'm still using it as a show.
Dogs have the same amount of neurons, roughly, as a toddler. Going, okay, dogs have roughly the intellectual ability of a toddler. And I heard that and I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. You guys get so upset when we compare our pets to your children. Suck it, we're validated.
Because you get oxytocin when you hug somebody, when you tell somebody that you love them, right? Like, you get oxytocin just from looking at somebody that you like. And so, Neil, you are getting none of it right now. And what they found is they found that dogs, when they look at their owners, their oxytocin increases by 150%. So sweet, right? Now, just to put that in perspective, kids, when they look at their owners, their oxytocin increases by 300%. So if your kids are staring at you, you have drug addicts. Yeah, so you have kids at 300, dogs at 150, cats, when they look at their owners, their oxytocin increases by 12%.
There's a lot of controversy. I know some of you guys are giving me looks like you want to tell me the science of personality. Fuck off, dickhead. But all of these genes, what they do is they basically code for neurotransmitters, they code for hormones, they code for receptors, right? And actually, an entire personality trait can change because of a single nucleotide polymorphism. All right, yeah, and it's called an SNP for short, which is an unfortunate name over that. Oh, the amount of Scottish scientists that thought they were voting for genetic diversity.
Why do we love feeling scared? And I think it boils down to the fact that our fear center is ancient in our brain. The fear center in our brain, ancient, like way older than a Nokia 3310. Okay, the thing is, our fears have changed a lot more than our brain has, right? So today we have different fears. We have things like fear of rejection, or fear of commitment, or if you're British, just emotions in general.
But actually, most of the fears that we have in life are learned fears, right? That we learn them across our lives, and you'd be surprised. Things that you think are ingrained within you aren't. For example, babies, when they're born, aren't actually scared of heights. They learn that. And men, actually, when they're born, are not scared of commitment.
All love is just a drug addiction to continue humans. Love is like a biological process that evolved for the continuation of the human species. It's not some romantic, ephemeral thing. I'm sure what you have is lovely, but
because I get a lot of shit for my accent. And I read this thing, is that all babies prefer their own accent. But there's a biological reason behind it, because back in, it dates back to tribal times, right? Because that's how you tell the difference between friend or foe. And then I was like, it makes sense why your baby would prefer your own accent. And I was like, if I ever did have a kid, I would want it to sound like me. Otherwise, it would pop out, look me in the eye, and just be like, it's fucking aluminium.
What's the worst part of a relationship?
Worst part is talking.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess you don't want to elaborate on that.
How many of you guys, do any of you guys struggle with imposter syndrome?
I think I've been 10 years sober.
Okay.
Yeah. So, as in I've been immune for 10 years.
Oh, I was like, oh, that's a different comedy for the curious.
Although this is a very different show now.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if this is commentary on the fact that both of you guys were talking about wine. She's like, okay, this is triggering right now.
So I think I had imposter syndrome since 13 to about 32.
Okay.
And I am on the other side.
You're on the other side. So just me up here then. What exactly is the difference between low self-confidence and imposter syndrome?
I think there's a huge difference, and it's so subtle that people don't realize it. Low self-confidence is when you actually have doubt about your skills and knowledge to be able to cope with things that might come in the future. Now, you'd say that that's what you feel, like you feel doubt whether your show is going to go or whether people are going to laugh. But that's not because you feel that you don't have the skill. It's because all the fringe awards that you've ever gotten, you blamed it on
The fact that they're small fringes and they don't count.
Yeah. And that they like
Nobody goes to the Sydney Fringe. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true. Nobody goes to the Sydney Fringe.
So most imposters feel that they're a fraud, and it's just this show that someone in the crowd is going to figure out that she's a fraud, that she actually doesn't know what she's doing, and they are so scared of that they.
No. Oh,
It's
no,
so nice to
I'm
see
not-
Robin meet her in a monologue. I feel like there's about to be one of those long
good
couches
show.
brought out
Yeah.
where you just get to lie back. And maybe it started with my dad, actually. I don't know.
Yeah, I could go on, but do you want to be psychoanalyzed?
No, it's fine. I feel like we should have a one-on-one session after this. I know there is a carpet. It feels very living room. We should just sell tickets, all right, guys? How do you feel about dogs and clothing?
Straight away.
Very,
no.
very passionate. Who was
Yeah, scientifically speaking, it's really cute. So it's hard for me to argue against it when I dress up my own dog. But yeah, I'm not sure from a veterinary ethics point of view. I should say it's a good idea. So to clarify, on the record, don't do it. Off the record, definitely do it.
Because people are born with different willpower, like amounts of willpower. Did you know this? Yeah, they did a marshmallow test in the 70s. Do we know the marshmallow? It's basically, basically they had kids and they gave them a choice of either one marshmallow now or in like 20 years you get a mortgage. It was really.
So what is that when the cat brings a dead bird to you?
Do they know? I don't know if they actually
I
know.
don't know if they know.
No, they're trying to repay you for giving them food.
It could equally be cat bringing a dead bird going like, maybe you next.
There we go! Best pet name you've ever had?
I really enjoy it when they have expletives in the name because it's
really?
an excuse to like go out into a reception and just shout stuff at people that you don't like.
Like what? Like give me an example.
We've got a cat called Tosser. That's quite good.